Hey guys, welcome to Mikey's Video Game Madness. Today we're playing From Russia with Love, our 007, our 007 From Russia with Love. I don't know how you say that. I think I guess it's based on whatever way you want to say it. This is a James Bond game, the only one I know of that stars Sean Connery. Most of the other James Bond's games either like made up their own story or was based on whatever respective James Bond movie was out at the time. And I made the mistake again of just taking a big sip of soda before talking, and I probably sound utterly disgusting, and I apologize. I'm trying to pretend that I'm not utterly disgusting, though I probably am, but I mean, whatever. And it looks like I'm a pervert because I'm talking and there's all these women on and I just want to start the game. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the original opening from Russia with Love, so I guess this was supposed to be like a sequel to the movie Dr. No or whatever. I don't know. I know he's referencing here. Dr. No was the first Sean Connery James Bond movie that I know of. I don't know if Casino Royale with Woody Allen, which was kind of a spoof movie of the Ian Fleming James Bond books, came out first. I don't know. But this was kind of cool because this came out way after From Russia with Love came out, which is from the 60s. And it actually has Sean Connery starring as himself and doing the voice, who's probably never picked up a video game in his life. I don't know if that's true, but he just doesn't seem like the type. So the fact that he participated in this game is pretty amazing. And I can't believe this. I found this game for $3. I remember watching one of Dean's videos, which his channel is Escape from Gaming. I think it's Vinny Corleone 62, if I remember correctly. He always raves about this game, and I probably played it a long time ago, but I probably didn't give it a fair chance. And I just remember his videos, and I saw that the store for like $3. I was like, what do I have to lose? And like, it's cool, and I like the little inventions and the crazy cars and stuff like that. I'm not a James Bond fan, but I always like sorry. Let me start a new game before I start rambling. But I've liked the games, and it's one of the, you can tell it's an older James Bond movie when he wears that awful hat. But yeah, I've never been a huge fan of the movies, but I always thought the gadgets and stuff were kind of cool. I've only seen a handful of James Bond movies. I've seen all the ones with Pierce Brosnan. I don't think I've seen one of the newer ones with like Daniel Craig in them, and I've seen like one or two with Timothy Dalton. Like, I think most of the James Bond movies I've seen were either with Pierce Brosnan. I don't think I saw the last one he was in, our Sean Connery, when they used to have like the James Bond marathons on TBS or whatever. There used to be a cartoon called James Bond Jr., which was, I'm gonna make sure I was recording. Well, the cartoon was interesting at the time. Since I was a kid, I didn't even know that there was a James Bond movie series. Well, this is cool because it's a game that came out like way after the movie did. This is probably what a majority of people consider the best James Bond movie. But it's a fun game. When this came out, I was kind of burned out on James Bond games. This was one of the last James Bond games, if not the last, to come out on a PlayStation 2 or Xbox. I can't remember if GoldenEye Rogue Agent came out before or after this, but that wasn't really a James Bond game because you didn't play as James Bond. And they tried to pass it off as a sequel to GoldenEye, making you think it was the sequel to the Nintendo 64 game, but really the true sequel, even though it doesn't have the same license, is Perfect Dark, which is more of a which someone would consider a spiritual successor. So, I just finished playing Soldier of Fortune. Now the controls are completely different. And I had to remember how to duck. So this game is incredibly fun and worth way more than $3. And I probably rented it a long time ago and just didn't play it. Because back in the day when this came out, they had like this program. It was kind of like the way Netflix or GameFly works, except you actually had to go to the store. You pay like this one fee a month and you could rent like as many games as you want to, one at a time, and then when you're done, take them back. The Blockbuster Video was pretty much a mile away from my house, so I switched games left and right without really giving a lot of games a fair chance. And I was kind of burnt out on James Bond games because they came out like, I guess as much as like the Call of Duty games that come out now, like maybe once or twice a year. Most of them were first-person games, and then the game before this was some Pierce Brosnan game, and I don't think it was based on any movie. I think Heidi Klum was like the like the James Bond girl in that movie, if I'm thinking of the right one. And then they used the Need for Speed engine for the racing parts, and it was actually pretty cool. And then this game adopted the third person, and I guess this still uses the Need for Speed engine for the car segments because they run really smooth as well. And this looks really good. There's some PlayStation 3 games that I've played that probably have looked worse than this. You have this mode where you actually can shoot individual parts if that's your thing. But the first two James Bond games on the PlayStation 2 were first-person shooters. They were all trying to capitalize on GoldenEye, or make you think it was GoldenEye. Rare, who made the original GoldenEye, lost the license to sorry, I'm trying to play this and talk at the same time. Rare lost the license to 007, and then I forgot who made the next game, but they made a game on the PlayStation called Tomorrow Never Dies, which wasn't very good at all. They tried to copy Siphon Filter. That was actually a third-person game, and then EA got a hold of the license, I believe. I don't know if EA had the license to Tomorrow Never Dies. I forgot who had the license to Tomorrow Never Dies. If it's EA, it was EA, but I don't think EA got the license until The World Is Not Enough came out, and that came out on Nintendo 64 and original PlayStation. They were made by two different developers, so they were two different games. The Nintendo 64 version was actually pretty good. The PlayStation version was average, and I don't like it that they force you to play card games, because I suck at card games and I can't remember all the rules, and forgot what card game they made you play, but I didn't like it. I don't like any games that force you to gamble. Like when you play Fallout New Vegas, I always skip the gambling parts. The cover system's kind of clunky, but it's forgivable. The game's really good, and See, if you do the more precise aiming, you can just shoot the wires. And it's more fun that way. But it's forgiving because this is a early cover and shoot kind of system. But they tried to make first-person shooter games when EA got a hold of it. Then there was a couple of first-person shooter games that EA made on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox, and I guess the GameCube. And then they came out with a third-person game with Pierce Brosnan that had its own storyline that wasn't based on a movie, and then I think that's when this came out. But by the time, like I said, this came out, I kind of lost interest in James Bond games because, I don't know, they were kind of the same. Kind of like how Call of Duty games are starting to feel. But now that I had a break off of it and I'm playing this now, I've really enjoyed it. I have like a few PlayStation 3 games like I've gotten that are good games, and I've been playing this. I started a new game just for the sake of the video, but this is fun. I would recommend this to likes action games for the PlayStation 2 or the Xbox. I can't remember if it came out on the GameCube or not.
You need this passkey.
Okay, I got the passkey. Thanks. Since I was talking, I don't remember which way that was. For a silenced gun, it's really loud. I don't remember any of this when I played it, or if I played it when I rented it, but I can't see me with that Game Pass not playing this when it came out, it being a James Bond game. I would at least tried it. I probably didn't give it a chance because, like I said, I rented games like a maniac. As soon as I got one, I traded it for another one. I just wanted to basically try out like every game the store had before the month was over. But I really like the 60s technology, and I think Sean Connery is the best James Bond. And you gotta love a game that has jetpacks in it. I'd be so scared, like, if I had a jetpack, I would accidentally lift my legs up or something and burn my legs off. I just have a feeling that would happen. This game does take some creative liberties and adding some elements that weren't in the movie. I think I saw From Russia with Love a long time ago. I don't remember much of it. So you can unlock like a bunch of artwork and the making of videos and stuff. And I remember the movie when they start showing clips, but like the game developer said on the Making a Movie that I unlocked, said this is almost like a director's cut. This helicopter's gonna start charging at me. And I got hit regardless, because I pushed the wrong button. I pushed up instead of down. I'm not too worried though. I don't think he has much more longevity. Even on an LCD game, this game looks surprisingly smooth. You definitely gotta check out Escape to Gaming's channel. I know I've mentioned it before, but it's a cool channel. And I love how enthusiastic he is, even about games that people don't consider popular. That's one of the things I like about Classic Game Room too. Like Mark, he's really enthusiastic too about games. I'm sure you guys watch that if you watch this channel. I'm sure you've seen the more popular channels. But I love it when people are enthusiastic about games, even that I'm not into, because I just love that different perspective. Are you forcing me to watch this? You know I already finished it based on my other save file. I wish they would have kept the original opening. There's a old anime, and I'm not an anime fan, but I do like this one series, and it's kind of like a James Bond type of cartoon. It's slapstick. It's made for adults. It's called Lupin the Third. It was made in the 70s, probably early 70s. It started out as a manga or a Japanese comic book, and when the animation's actually really beautiful, and even though the characters are kind of cartoony, but the vehicles and the weapons and everything are like super detailed. And it's one of the few like non-fantasy like animes that you'll come across. I mean, it's basically like a thief that's kind of like James Bond. He's almost like a parody of James Bond. Instead of an agent, he's like a thief, but he has like all these heists and everything. And the music of this reminds me of the Lupin cartoons because they emulate the same kind of style, like the 60s 007 music. I think the most popular Lupin movie ever, it was a TV show too, because I mean, like, even Steven Spielberg commented on it, like, after he made Raiders of the Lost Ark, because it came out around the same time. If you ever remember the Dragon's Lair Laserdisc arcade games, there was a arcade game called Cliffhanger. And Cliffhanger was based on the Lupin the Third movie, The Castle of Cagliostro. I think that's how you say that. And that was a Lupin the Third game. That was the most tame one. The other ones are a little bit more adult oriented with like nudity and more violence or whatever. But I'm not a huge anime fan, but I really like those movies, at least the older ones. No, I don't want to save. Just want to play the next mission. But apparently Steven Spielberg actually saw the movie and was actually really inspired by it. I got this hedge maze, which I'm going to skip if I get the chance. That's not one of the... It's a fun level, there's nothing wrong with it, but... Do you want to save the current game? No. Well, yes, I'm sure. I'm glad that they asked, though, because I could have... There could have been a moment in my life where I might have accidentally erased it. Load game. Load successful. Well, that's nice. And plays this. I'm not terribly far into this game because I haven't had it that long. And I've been coming across sales and stuff. So I've been buying like more than one game at a time. I have too many damn games right now. Which is a good thing if I'm ever broke. I don't have to worry about buying any games that keep myself entertained. But I've been going back and forth. But I'd really just like to sit down and finish this one. But just to show you the different kind of gameplay, we'll play a driving level and then call it a day. You get to drive all the, well, not all his old cars, but you get to drive the old cars in this game. Not interested in cutscene.
Can I borrow a match?
Oh, I usually.
It's better still.
Until we go wrong.
Welcome to Istanbul, Mr. Pop. Your transportation...
Somebody who doesn't usually do voice acting, I have to give Sean Connery props. It doesn't sound terribly phoned in. Like when you play the Ghostbusters, the video game, as much as I like that game, I'm not gonna lie, like Bill Murray
You were wise to take us
and
otherwise you might not live to regret it.
car.
Dan Aykroyd at times, you can tell they're kind of hamming it up or phoning it in. Even though I know Dan Aykroyd played a big part, but Harold Ramis and Ernie Hudson, I think, did the best jobs of portraying their characters in that particular game.
It's only the Russians. They follow us.
Dan Aykroyd
It's sort of an
done some animated things, so
So, let's talk about this business of yours.
And thinks I'm wasting my time here.
And so do I.
I was surprised
There's a chance of getting the
that his performance didn't always sound like Ray Stantz, but they're a lot older now too. His performance wasn't necessarily bad, it was just a lot more hammed up than the Ray Stantz from the movies, and that might be because he's done a few animated features. He did the voice of Yogi Bear. And Bill Murray. It didn't seem like Bill Murray was taking his role too seriously. I'm the worst driver in the world because I'm looking at the map. It's a rocket pellet grenade.
It appears that your truce with the Russians has just ended.
But I didn't order an attack.
Then who did?
I don't know. But the Russians are going to blame us. You best get us out of here.
I will do my best. The graphics are really nice for this game, but this was pretty late in the PlayStation 2's life cycle. EA was pretty good about releasing decent looking games on the PlayStation 2. I'm driving really shitty. This must be the heaviest car in the world, as much ammunition as it's
Maybe you
carrying.
use one of your fancy toys to destroy their garage.
Assuming they don't destroy this car first.
If we need repairs, there's a mechanic in town that will gladly
That
aid us.
automatically knows how to fix really modified cars. And that was a really shitty quote because I'm like, my brain's on automatic mode right now. Source the most primitive part of my brain to do the commentary right now, which probably isn't wise. You also have these little tire puncture things that work when the cars are really close. I didn't really need to go to the repair shop then, but whatever. I don't need to go in a circle. Those trees just incinerate the cedar chips. I love older games when the cars have like absolutely no detail at the bottom. They look really nice up top until you see the bottom. And I think this is the new... I think that's a civilian. I guess I just turned myself into a freaking terrorist around here. That sucks. There's also missiles you can use, but I'm saving it for this garage I need to blow up. Probably not blow it up that close. This is a nice distance. Alright. Now what? Is that even a bad guy? No. I feel dumb. There's a game that got really terrible reviews back in the day. I guess because it was pushing the game beyond its limit. But I thought it was pretty fun. There's this game on PlayStation 1 called 007 Racing. And it wasn't technically a racing game. There might have been some racing segments are racing towards an objective segment. But it was almost like Driver with PlayStation.
Something tells
What
me
am I
he's
talking
serious
about?
this, James.
It was almost, I don't know why I said PlayStation. It was almost like Driver with like all the 007 cars and weapons and stuff. It was like a car combat game most of the time. I thought it was pretty fun. But I wasn't a picky gamer back then either. Maybe I wouldn't like it now. I don't know. It might be like the first Soldier of Fortune. The first Soldier of Fortune's fun if you just want a straight up shooter. Just that one snow level I was playing at, and if I post these out of order, it's not going to make any sense to you. But I just finished recording Soldier of Fortune after saying how much bloodier it was in the third one. I didn't get a chance to show more of the gore because I didn't have the right weapons, and I wasn't at the right level, and the level I was at is kind of cheap because the draw distance is kind of shitty because I guess it's supposed to be foggy, and it just makes my other video make me sound like a fool when I'm talking. Where I'm like saying that the first Soldier of Fortune was gorier. I guess it is in some sense, even from what I saw with the intestines and stuff. But I just remember getting like a high caliber gun and shooting somebody in the face, and they had like multiple holes in their face. But maybe that wasn't in the PlayStation port. I can't remember. Well, it was actually the first time I actually played the PlayStation port. The Dreamcast was the Soldier of Fortune that I remember. Why did I go down after seeing this guy? It was a bad planning on my part. I love these older shooting games where everybody feels obligated to do somersaults. They're better off running. Don't they realize somersaults make you actually move slower? Even during a gunfight, his hair is nicely groomed. It looks like he's ready to go to prom at any moment. If he got a call right now, all he'd have to do is go and pick up a corsage and he'd be set. Even after being shot at. That's what I consider a real secret agent. One thing you gotta get used to if you're used to playing modern games is you just can't turn around and shoot like I just tried to do. You have to use the lock-on system. That guy has a shotgun. I don't want to get near him. I want that vest though. Now I'm using my supposedly silenced pistol. That doesn't sound very silenced at all, but whatever. I've never shot a silenced pistol in real life, so I can't tell you how loud or quiet they are. It's my grappling hook belt. I must have a really good belt. A high threshold for pain, because I imagine if just a regular belt handled like all of your weight, I imagine it would hurt if you're scaling a wall, but whatever. I've never done that before either, so I can't speak from experience. And I don't know anybody who owns a... What's a bond moment? You get extra points for that. Been a little bit careless with my ammunition, so it's switching back to all these other weapons. low laser death. I'm low on ammo. I've never died on there. Shows you how much talking distracts me. Well, I gotta do the whole thing over again. Anyway, essentially what I was going to do, since I don't want to waste your guys' time, I was gonna rappel and climb up, and there's a turret around, and the tank would blow up, and that'd be the end of the level, and go on to the next one. But you get the idea. This is an amazing game. I got it for $3. I probably should have paid more. I feel like I'm stealing from the people. This is probably, beside the last first-person shooter on the PlayStation 2, that was a 007 game. I can't remember what it was called, unfortunately. I keep on wanting to think Nightfire, but I can't remember if that was the first one to come out. Whatever the last James Bond game in the first person, that was probably the best one, as well as this. I haven't played that one in a long time, so since I've played this one recently, I can honestly say that this is the best one to my knowledge, because this is the one that I remember the most recent that I've played. Awesome game, highly recommend it if you like shooters and want a decent shooter on the PlayStation 3, and if you're a James Bond fan, which I'm not a terribly huge James Bond fan, or really one at all. I don't even own one James Bond movie. I've just seen them when they come on TV. So I like it, just the fact that it's a good game, and I like the quirky sense of the 60s style and stuff, which I hope actually comes through in the new Wolfenstein game. I hope they use some of their unique takes on 60s technology, although some of the stuff I've seen on it with mechs and robots and stuff looks more advanced than stuff we have now. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this game if you're looking for a good PlayStation 2 game. And if I got this for like $3, I can't imagine being ridiculously expensive elsewhere. Highly recommend it. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and if you like this video, if you do me a favor to let me know that you liked it by clicking the thumbs up and leave a comment, positive or negative, just so I know what you guys like or don't like, or what you'd like to see in the future. And if you're new to this channel and you'd like to see other videos of me ramble and try to think of things to say by playing terribly, worse than I would normally, but it's not really that believable because anybody can say they play better when nobody's looking, but it's the truth, I promise. There's other videos that you can watch. Just hit the subscribe button. There's over 400 videos. Some better than others. You can sort through the lot, and they're all categorized in whatever type of platform they're on, more of that generation of platform, and as well as like videos of me going around town filming the area I live in, etc., etc. But there's a video explaining that as well, and I'm rambling, making this too long. I always do that. So I will talk to you guys on the next video. Thank you guys so much for whatever support you give, whether it's just watching the video, giving a thumbs up, leaving comments, which I really appreciate, and subscribing. So thank you guys, and take care, and I will hopefully talk to you on the next video. Alright guys, bye.